Hey, welcome to the very episode of Mom Mode Unfiltered, where motherhoods meets movies, gossip, internet mess, and the realest parts of life. My name is Ivy. I'm your host. I'm a full time working mom, a blog writer wannabe, content watcher, and certified TikTok scroller. Well, sometimes. And if you're into parenting, pop culture, trending drama, or just need a space where we say it like it is, whenever you do laundry, driving from work to home, or trying to hide from your toddler in the bathroom, been there, girl, you're in the right place. So welcome to Mom Mode Unfiltered. Okay, so before we get into today's topic, let me just say this week has been a moment. And when I say moment, it's very, very moment. I just have to share a little moment from this week that completely melted me. My son and I have been doing homeschool, and right now we are working on learning the alphabet. So each day we got over 3 letters. So we learned the letter, then I have him draw something that starts with that letter. I'll help him spell it out and pronounce the word, and then he'll try it on his own. And the cutest thing happened is, as he was trying to remember a letter, he literally paused and said to himself, "Come on, Lincoln, concentrate. You can do this. You know this letter. Concentrate." I was sitting there trying so hard not to laugh, just letting him have his little motivational pep talk. I'm telling you, he's only 5, but in that moment, he sounded like a full-grown adult hyping himself up in a job interview. So it was adorable and sweet and funny, and it reminded me how incredible these little minds are. That they absorb everything, our words, our habits, our energy, even the way they talk to themselves. So motherhood can be overwhelming, but moments like this, they're everything. Right? Yes. Actually, something that I came up with, and being in Reddit as well. So today I'm diving into something that's been flooding my For You page and my timeline lately. If you know Kyra Sivertson from OKbaby, yes, that's our topic for today. So Kyra appeared on the podcast episode of Isaac Rochell, Don't Worry, I'll Ask. And you might know her from the YouTube family channel OKbaby. And if you've been down the rabbit hole like I have, when you just wanted to have a little bit time of yourself and you came up with a new juicy tea on TikTok or YouTube or any social media platform, you just go and dive into it. So that's exactly where this is going. So I think the main point is the emotional cheating, the breakup with Oscar Preston, and what really happened behind the scene. So as a fellow mom, I'm not here to drag her. I'm here to talk about what happens when someone refuses to own the truth but tries to tell their side. So here's the gist. Kyra goes on Isaac Rochell podcast and say, and I quote, I think this is really the one that get me to that point of wanting to start this episode, kind of. So that one line, it says, "Who I chose to sleep with one time became my whole identity." Yep, she said that. But she married that person, I guess, during that time. And it became her identity. And the logic there is, yes, you slept with him one time, but you married him as well. So I didn't understand the logic on that one. Anyways, that one line, well, there's a lot of things that lit a fire under the internet. So she wants people to see her as more than a single choice, more than a mistake. And I get that. So we all make mistakes, but here's the thing. Did she own it? She dances around the topic of cheating. She never really says the word. and somehow makes the whole situation about how the internet treated her, not how Oscar felt, not how her kids might feel one day, not even how her best friend Hannah must have felt when her husband Preston, now Hannah's ex-husband, became Kyra's new husband. So we're gonna go to the where it sparks, how it started. And that is emotional cheating. And let's talk about it because that's what it was. That's where it started. She admitted in the podcast that she and Pressa had an emotional connection while they were both still with their partners. And emotional cheating, that still counts because that hurts. So you're bonding with someone else while still in a relationship, investing in someone new while slowly sabotaging what you already have. And we saw so many videos about it. A lot of people covered the topic. A lot of people, when you put your life to the internet, you will see everything. And we saw that slowly sabotaging that. And I think one of those video where was kind of pissy, and then Hannah and Preston are all there. Preston gave her a flower and she got so happy about it. Or when Oscar came back from, I guess, a trip, and or actually it's not Oscar but Kyra went back from a trip, and she immediately, got angry or something, nagged Oscar about something. So yeah, that is slowly sabotaging, and that's betrayal. Just without the physical part at first, it's a slippery slope. And in her own words, she said, "I had a choice, and I did it anyway." Remember, guys, it's not a mistake when you choose. Okay, you cannot make an excuse that, "Oh, I made a mistake." You can choose. You always can choose. You can decide whether you want to pursue it or not. And that says everything on her end, because she did, and she continued about it. And what about Oscar? So she says she was going through a rough time. I think there's one topic there that she said that she's being sad. I think that's more of the word that she said. But one thing that caught me is that, did she tell him? My husband, he is not a mind reader. So if I don't share what's going on in my life right now as an individual, how will he know? Our husbands are not mind reader. I mean, they can have the discernment to know there's something going on. Yes, they can always say, it's like, "How are you? How's everything?" And I think that opens an opportunity for us to tell to our partners what's going on. And sit down. "Hey, want to sit down and talk to you. Something's going on in my mind, emotionally, mentally, all this kind of fun stuff." For Kyra, she made the decision to hide her emotional struggle, hide her growing bond with someone else too. Because there's another video of Oscar and Kyra, because Oscar doesn't know that it was Preston during that time. And let him find out after the damage was already done. That's not miscommunication. That's not falling out of love. That's selfishness. That's blindsiding your partner, the father of your children, and leaving them to pick up the emotional mess. You don't get to call that growth. You don't get to call that healing. And I don't know. It just baffles me on my end as well. As a wife and as a mom, I have to think not for myself. I have to think my husband. I have to think my son. But I guess there's other people that they don't. And another note, the best friend. Let's go to the best friend code. Here's what it cuts even deeper. Preston wasn't just any guy. Okay, so he was married to Hannah. And Hannah is Kyra's best friend and nanny during the OKbaby years. If your best, let me say this loud and clear. If your best friend's husband is texting you, but mind you, on that podcast with Isaac Rochell, Kyra says like, oh, there's no texting, there's nothing going on, but I didn't understand where it come from when she said that suddenly Preston asked her, how do you do it? So, your best friend husband is texting you, confiding in you, or asking how you got through a breakup. That, again, I will boldly say this, that's not an opportunity. That's a red flag. That's the moment you step back, set boundaries, and tell your friends what's going on. You don't entertain it, you don't justify it, and you don't build a new relationship on the ashes of someone else's trust. Kyra had every chance to stop it. Instead, she chose to keep going. And now she's married to the man she once called her best friend's husband. I cannot really imagine the pain that my best friend's gonna go through with that. And I don't know. It's just so, again, I will use the word baffled me. And a lot of people is like, this is best friend go. Why? Why would you do it? Oh, and in that topic, like I said, she had a choice, right? But she still chooses Preston. And we will never know what really goes on in Kyra's mind, but we can tell how it lays. So thank you actually to the Challenge podcast for that. He's really good dissecting things. That's where I get to this rabbit hole. So everybody knows the breakup video. Oh my gosh, the worst breakup video. Kyra says they're trying to find herself, and she made the other videos about the reason why she did it. So now here's the part that really struck me. So when she said that she needed to find herself, that's why she didn't say stay and try to fix her relationship with Oscar. Let me ask you this. When you are a mother, when you have a family, is finding yourself an excuse to destroy the very people who rely on you? Think about that. Think about that first. So me, I didn't lose myself when I became a mom. I gained something new. I became a fuller version of myself. Yes, it's hard. Yes, you can feel overwhelmed, but walking away from your family to chase a new relationship is not growth. It's avoidance. It's choosing yourself at the cost of your children's emotional security. So, what are your thoughts? I wanted to close this podcast with some few final thoughts because I'm about to go to work. So in her appearance, she shows vulnerability, sure. She expressed how hurt she's been, and she talked about rebuilding. But vulnerability without truth is just performance. You can cry on the internet and still avoid responsibility. You can tell your side and still hide the facts. This story isn't about hate, it's about accountability. About what happens when influencers try to reshape the story after the damage is done. Kyra might say she's not selfish, but if you hurt your partner, betray your best friend, emotionally cheat, and never fully admit to it, then yes, that is selfish. I said it and I stand by it. If you want to read the full breakdown, it's on my blog. Actually. stargazeriv.blogspot.com. Let me know your thoughts, DM me, comment, or share. I'm here for real conversation, not curated cover-ups. Thank you for listening. See you in the next episode.